Hello everybody, AOG Gaming here, back with another video on Dislyte. So we finally maxed our Yalina out. Not able to get Fushi yet because the draws are shit. The gold draws are shit. The 50-50 is a scam, and YouTubers don't understand math, so they tell you it's not, but it is. Well, actually, there's a decent amount talking about it now, so just not about specifically this game. Not those YouTubers. Okay. Let's just go and show you Yalina. Yeah, so they made it a lot easier. Before I go show you Yalina, they made it a lot easier to get her. So you don't need Fu, Shi, or Feng Shen, whatever you want to call them. As you can see, there's like a few things that you could do with Feng Shen, Fu Shi, and it does help you get faster to Yalina. I kind of just hard brooded it and kind of got everything I could as fast as possible. Is she worth it to R6? She's not the craziest character I've seen, but she is kind of cool. Very unique. She's a shimmer, so I said why not. Maybe they'll have some bosses or something. There's like definitely a lot of content in the game that she's useful for, but it's very niche. It's like only when you're facing a healer, which is pretty common. But I say niche because there needs to be a lot of healing. If it's like one turn heals like the entire team and it's like most of their health, that's not gonna work, because like at that point it becomes a battle of attrition, and then you have to bring another healer on your team, which you're gonna see on this team. I have a healer because of that reason, also because I don't have all these characters maxed out and most of them are epic. Yeah, I just couldn't find the team where she like works really well. Actually, let's go to So, very cool character design, by the way. I love it. It's awesome. And just her story too is pretty cool. So I got her Divinity as well. Daily Destruction, final damage is 60% when her HP is full. So I kind of thought that maybe the best equipment is the 80 set, so she can heal. And then counterattack set because actually if you read her abilities, she doesn't have a second skill, it's just a passive technically, so she's going to be casting her basic a lot, and it actually does a lot for her. It gives her attack up and crit rate up. So there's a lot of uses for this. You could actually just have her be a follow-up. So here's the thing, right? I'll show you how she works in the prep, right? So be quiet for a second. So I'm gonna look at this resonance thing. So first at R2, she will deal more damage when their HP is below 50%. Basically, if it does become a battle of attrition when you have her on your team, which she's basically meant for those, because her Promise Breaker reduces healing taken, or it increases damage taken. Sorry, because it's a debuff on the enemy. Every time they heal, and it stacks, and it doesn't dispel because it's a silver rim debuff, but sometimes it goes away, which is weird. I don't know how it works. Maybe it's a dispel chance, but every time I was using it in prep, sometimes I was able to get to 10 stacks on one character, which is the max. So they take 30% more damage, but it's kind of like it's like it's okay, but it doesn't really matter that much. But it is what she is all about, so I'll show you in a second. Her R4, she will gain crit damage for every kill she gets, up to 3 kills, so max 25%. So if you go on manual, like right before you're about to kill a character, you use her, and yeah, now you're able to effectively gain a lot more crit damage on her than you would before, so you maybe put more crit rate into her than crit damage, and then you're chilling after that. Yeah, it's kind of like Leora and Athena's skill, but less strong. Obviously, it's not as big as a multiplier, but it still does the same thing, right? You're gaining more crit damage per kill, and it doesn't matter in waves because it just carries over, which is so broken. And then finally, her last one. Um, when an Esper falls, Yalina dispels her debuffs and recovers HP by 100%. So you don't have to have the Hades set on her whatsoever, but it kind of makes her ultimate deal a lot more damage. Which is very, I think it's her ultimate. I hope it's her ultimate. Um, and then also if the fallen Esper is an enemy afflicted with Promise Breaker, she will transfer the remaining Promise Breaker stacks to the other enemies, which is really good, especially if you can stack multiple stacks. She's really only good against Ahmed, if I'm really going to be honest. If you have her with Hades, actually, you know, funnily enough that she uses the Hades set, if you have her and Hades on the same team, it's going to be completely broken because it's going to stop Ahmed's on the other team from healing their team and the disease as well as the just, you know, health in general. Because Ahmed's the only one who can heal that, but Yalina makes it so that they're going to take 30% more damage really quickly, the entire team. So it basically becomes like a constant damage break, or like defense break. So yeah, her ultimate is interesting. I kind of wished they made it better. In fact, I feel like she's one of the weaker epic espers to come out in a while, even though she's Shimmer. But hopefully this means that they're gonna add in 5-star bleed support, because so far we only have Camille and she's good at what she does, but it's not like she's all about bleed. I feel like she's more just a damage stacker. And then obviously a debuff extender. But oh wait, actually here, I forgot to put her abilities into her. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Yalina is basically like the follow-up of Camille in an interesting way. So I kind of put her on a bleed team because I made a bleed team for her. Even though, I mean, they're already characters I had. So I didn't really build the bleed team, I just had them already. And it's not like an exact bleed team, but it's as close as I could get, I'm pretty sure. There's only 3 characters with bleed right now. It's Alolan, Camille, Hades, same character, and then Yalina, Mamitu. I think they're the only ones with bleed. I mean, other than there's a few other epics I think that have bleed. Wait.
Stop dawdling.
There's a few epics that have bleed, right? I know.
Come, let's drink.
There's only, yeah, Camille's the only one who does like really AoE bleeds. Like, yeah, I think there might be another legendary that does bleed, but it's like very obscure and very, it's like one thing. Can I get it to R6? Wait. I can! I have an R6 Ptah. Okay, this is really good. This is really good. I can now do a really good Fafnir team. Wow. Okay. Actually, this is really good. This is really good. I am loving this, actually. Okay, so I might actually max her out first because she's going to be much more useful. Do you have bleed? No, I think you're just stunned, right?
Now the whole world is in my hands.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's only a Alolan.
We will eventually be washed.
Jiang Man has disease, right? It's not bleed, and yeah, it's not the same thing. Then poison, yeah, okay. I know she had a debuff, but I didn't think it was bleed. Yuli has bleed, right? Yeah, so he is another Esper with bleed. So he kind of is the other one with AoE bleed. I don't know. He doesn't feel like it's gonna work well with Yalina, other than his ultimate. But it's like, yeah, I guess you have a 3-turn cooldown, which is pretty good, so you can just spam bleeds. I feel like the team that I have is gonna be pretty good though, cause like, what does this pass do? Attacks have 50% doing true damage. Yeah, I mean, it's just too many passive skills. I have mentioned this in some of my videos, but passive skills are strong on some characters, but if you have too many passive skills on your team, unless it's a specific passive skill that is also an attack, like Adrena, which I will show you because she's on my team. It doesn't work really well because you're basically missing out an extra attack. And yeah, they use their basic, but that's it. And it can work well with their kit, but sometimes it doesn't. And in this case, it does not. Who else does bleed? I know there's more characters with bleed. Well, you have it there. Basically bleed. So Promise Breaker, what does it do? It again takes damage plus 3, crit damage minus crit rate, sorry, minus 20. So it decreases the damage done to Yalina. So when attacking Yalina, which is really good, it goes up to 200% crit rate. So pretty much the enemy won't be able to kill Yalina if they're like a healing team and they're able to stack a lot of Promise Breakers. But you know, minus 20% crit rate is like, it only stops some characters, but if you're gonna run crit rate, most people go like sub 90, which, you know, 70% crit rate is still a decent amount. You can still crit pretty consistently. Randomly dispels one buff from the carry at the end of the turn. Now that's the real broken part about Promise Breaker, is because even if they do gain immunity, so long as you're able to land one Promise Breaker, then it works, right? It only inflicts it on them when they receive healing. So if they have immunity before they heal, then they're not going to get the Promise Breaker. Another thing that I did mess up with this character is that Promise Breaker in itself actually is a Silver Rim debuff. So it's going to stay on the characters, but sometimes it goes off. It's really weird. I don't know. It's supposed to stay on them, I'm pretty sure. Because it's not a black debuff. The black border debuff is the ones that come off. That's like defense break, attack down, speed down. Just generic debuffs. Most dots are like that. I think all dots are like that actually. Even, yeah, bleeds, poisons. Yeah, and then pretty much if the target has at least 7 stacks, Promise Breaker, Yalina performs a pursuit attack on all enemies with Dahlia Destruction. Triggers once per turn. So if you're able to get 7 stack, which is why I said she was better against Ahmed, she's going to be spamming her ultimate. And you really do need Camille and maybe Alolan. Alolan's probably the best bleed support because he just does so much bleed with his ultimate. It's ridiculous. And he's able to spam them once you have him at R6. I only have a single copy, so go figure. But yeah, let's just get into Showcase now because I feel like I've talked enough. I just wanted to explain her kit. Her basic gives her attack up and all that stuff. Yeah, let's get right into the VR Battlegrounds. So Camille, alright, I did have Ollie, but I think I took him out. So actually, let me see who I put in. Oh no, I had Ahmed. Yeah, because I put Ahmed in. So you. And then I had Adrena because she's going to be able to stun them with her just being able to, like, you know, spam her ultimate. And the defense down as well, so it's going to be able to do more stuff, grant AP. She just does so much. And the fact that Mamitu, Yalina herself, is going to be casting her basic a lot because it's the only attack that she's able to use consistently. Her ultimate's going to obviously take a 4-turn. Even at max, and her basic is just really good because it gives her attack up and crit rate up for 2 turns, which basically means she's always going to have this because, well, once she casts it once, she's going to have it, because even once she casts her ultimate, she's going to have it then for 1 turn, and then after that she's going to cast this, and then she's going to have it again for 2 turns. So she's going to always have attack up and crit rate up. So you don't have to put a lot of crit rate and attack into her. So I have 40% crit rate. So she's going to gain a lot. 70% crit rate, which is decent. Like I said, it's not guaranteed, but it's decent. And then her attack is not a lot. It's only 2,500. But again, she's going to gain 40% attack. And then I also have Adrena as the lead here. And yeah, let me just add Ahmed. And then my last epic was Alolan. And I gave him speed so we can spam his ultimate first. And yeah, the reason why is because he attacks 3 times. I gave him 100% accuracy. No, 50% accuracy, sorry. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, he's just going to be spamming that. Um, if an enemy makes their allies bleed and early, all of Alolan's ability cooldowns -1 turn, triggers once per turn. Works really well against just this team, the VR Battleground team, because they actually dispel, I believe, right? Oh no, it's her. She dispels. Yeah, so she dispels and heals, and she's going to be also healing with her basic. I don't think you dispel, right? Yeah. And then you're a taunter, right? Yeah. Okay. So again, you kind of have to go against the healing comp. There's kind of like no real way to get the Promise Breaker on the enemies otherwise. Which I feel like if they had it in her ultimate, like she just lands one stack, it would just be good in that case. Because you're already making sure that the stacks can go onto other characters, and that if one of those enemy espers dies, that Yalina heals to full health anyway, which is ridiculous. just that in itself is broken, but you do have to kill an esper for that to work, so you can't exactly keep her alive all the time unless you have a lot of nukes and like single target. Like if you had Trevor, you could kind of make her broken because she's always going to heal as long as an enemy dies, which is so broken. Um, but they of course have to have the Promise Breaker. Then it's gonna go off once they die. But again, once they heal, they're gonna gain that again. And the Promise Breaker stack goes to another enemy anyway, so you're not wasting it. It's just making sure another enemy will die, and then it just transfers, and the cycle repeats. So it's pretty much, again, war of attrition. Okay, let me stop speaking. So let's get you here, and then yeah, so I have Ahmed down, and then I have him with the relief set. So this is the build. You really just have to take into account speed, and then this. I don't have a lot of attack on any of these characters. Does this actually work? No, right? Yeah, it's ineffective. Okay. And then yours is also, no, it's 30%. Okay. All right. So we do attack. Hopefully we don't get taunted on our anywhere characters. Yeah, no taunt, please. No taunt. Okay, perfect. Perfect. No taunt. Okay. So we do Alolan's, right? Such a cool alternate animation, though. So yeah, basically all have the Promise Breaker now because I believe that was counterattack. Okay, so bleed. More bleed. Also, Mami2's ultimate is dependent on bleed. Problem is that they go first, so you're gonna have to have, actually here, let's show you that first. So let me show you how much damage her ultimate can do. So let me actually put what's her name, TA, on the team, just so that she can swap all the enemies' speed. I don't have any gear on her, so I just do this real quick.
Not to clean my room today.
Okay, there we go. We're still gonna have the attack lead because I need that. Okay, no taunts, please. Okay, they just attacked him. That's fine. So we do Alolan with this. We do this to swap them. Okay, well this time they have less fucking hate. I have no idea why. That's complete bullshit. Let's see how much damage her ultimate does just with this though. Okay, so 13k. That's nothing. Okay, that. So honestly, you shouldn't rely on that. It ignores more defense, but again, like I said, unless you're facing a defense team with healing, she's like really against tanky comps. Like again, like I said, Ahmed with Hades, with Donar, with like literally just all the tanky teams. Maybe against Hilda as well. So obviously I'm not gonna win this because they basically killed my Alolan. So we're gonna put Ahmed back into here. Let me see if I can get these 3 stacks. Please do not taunt anybody. No taunt. Perfect. Okay. It happened one time, so you know. Always have to watch out for it. So see, somehow now they have more AP. I don't fucking know how that works, but okay. That's complete bullshit. Oh, she got stunned though, but the bleed is gonna still take effect. Yeah, so the bleed stacks still go away. So Mami2 is not gonna deal as much damage as I want her to, but it's okay. Alolan is the next one though. yeah, so we do this. So we don't kill the healer, but we bring her down to enough health so that she's healing herself, and the stacks are going to go on her. And then also when she's dispelling debuff, she's also going to gain more stacks on herself. So we use your ultimate. Doesn't do as much damage. It did 11k. That's so weird. I guess they don't have a lot of defense and they're mostly HP scaled units. Which kind of makes sense, because defense doesn't matter to some extent, unless you have a lot of it. And I mean a lot of it, which is why defenders are like when they're based around defense, they're based around defense. Use your ultimate. Geva's Ahmed is also going to give us speed and attack up, so it's gonna just, you know, again, war of attrition like I was saying. Stun everybody. Okay, we can probably focus on somebody else just to like see. Okay, we almost have the bleed up again on our what's his name? Alolan, so that's good. Adrena is also doing great work boosting our AP and then allowing us to do a lot of damage. So here we go. Here we go. And what that means is eventually we might be able to overtake them. Oh, actually I did not want to do this. That's going to kill the healer, yeah. So as you can see, the stacks do carry over. But yeah, I mean, again, it's like a war of attrition thing. And yeah, I'm using 3 epic espers, which is fine because it still works. It still works. I don't know how well this will work for Andres because Andres doesn't heal. He actually loses health when his or in order to respawn the minions that die, like the mini minions, the mini bosses in that actual boss stage. So I don't know if she'll be good against Andres. Desolate Lands, there's nothing that heals. It's all based on damage dealt. So really it's just based on the damage you heal. What else? Yeah, pretty much it's only PvE, PvP. Like PvP is where she can really shine, I feel like, because again, you're gonna face a lot of those comps, and even if it's not them, you face, oh, I don't know, Hung Yue with what's her name? The Jade Rabbit, I forgot her name, Emma, and then I don't know, with Mavis, and then what's her name? Like Hades, and then I guess maybe Queen Mother. Like there's just so many things that heal or dispel buffs and stuff, so she is really good in PvP in certain scenarios, but then again against speed lead she pretty much does nothing. Yeah, and then against defensive tank comps, she's gonna melt them. Like any Donars or Hildas, if you have bleed with Camille on your team, she, like, honestly, you probably just need a Alolan. You set up speed with TA, you bring a Alolan, you bring what's her name, Mami 2. I guess you can bring Camille just to like stack the damage faster if you want, but it doesn't really matter. Because I guess you would want more control. So honestly, I would bring what's his name, Apollo, because he's going to stun and like push their AP down, which is going to be really good at just making sure that you can cycle through your skills before the enemy has their turn, and also, you know, keep them controlled so they can't use their skills even if they have the ability to. So as you can see, we got 5 stacks. It pretty much makes your team do more damage, and then Yalina takes less damage, so, you know, Hades set will keep her alive with the counter attack. That's why I gave it to her. And then also, as we're killing the enemies, they can heal, as you saw, but it's very subtle, and it doesn't really matter because you want a healer on your team anyway, since you're going to be using Yalina for attrition battles. So yeah, I don't know, who she might be good with Emma and Hung Yui. Actually, you just put 3 of them, and then what's her name? Yeah, and then you can put Mavis as well, because the thing is, if they don't kill what's her name, Mami 2, she's actually going to heal, I believe, because she heals based on Esper falling. So even if your teammates fall, right? So if you look at her Promise Breaker, sorry, that was the wrong skill. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, when a unit falls, Yalina dispels all her debuffs and recovers HP when a unit falls. So it doesn't matter. It can be boss, it can be minion, it can be anything. She's going to heal her own health. So again, like I said, you don't need, again, the Hades set or the counterattack set. The counterattack set, I would say it might be more mandatory because she's going to gain the attack and crit rate up. And she's also going to inflict buff blocker. So, you know, it just makes sure that they're not going to have any buffs. That's also what she does, right? She's not really a buff stripper. She kind of is. That's like the last cherry on top I can really speak about her, is that she does have that. And also she's going to be pursuing with Dolly Destruction, her ultimate. So, you know, her Divinate is worth investing into because it does buff damage on her ultimate. She does have to be at 100% health, but again, when a unit falls, she gains 100% health, and if you put the Hades set on her, she's going to heal, and again, with the Avatar set, the counterattack set, she's going to heal even more, so. Yeah, that's all the final words I have on Yalina Mami 2, the new epic Shimmer Esper they've released. I still think literally every other Shimmer Esper is probably better to get for any account, even especially early account. Like, yeah, so much better. I mean, yeah, that's all I can say. She's really just late game for PvP because you're not going to see a lot of Emmas and Hung Yui's built at R6. You know, high Divinates with the best gear they can possibly at like low arenas and any content that's like, I guess, knockout, beat, bout, and point war, like all three of those battle modes. You're pretty much going to be facing this only in the late game, so I would say this is good, right? They gave us a legendary support that was really broken, but honestly, at R0, he is really good. He doesn't do like everything you want him to, so you still need the attack buffer, because of course it's random until you get him to R2 with his buffs. But he's still really good, so it helps early accounts, it helps late game accounts. Get him to R2 and he just becomes literally the freaking... I would say he's literally the strongest Esper in the game right now, in terms of overall utility. He is right up there with the Pin. He's right up there with Mavis. He is up there. And Mavis actually kind of got nerfed, kind of, because they just made the AI better at targeting her when she's on the team. But yeah, those are my last words on Mami 2. As always, thank you all for watching. AOG Gaming here. If you're enjoying my content, please like and subscribe. It shows your support, helps me out, keeps you updated my content. 189 subscribers last time checked, so y'all are amazing. Keep going. Yeah, like I said, once we hit the 500 mark and we actually start getting paid, we can do stuff like get a rig, get a webcam, I guess get better equipment so like we can run, I don't know, better stuff. Anyway, thank you all for watching as always, and I'll see everybody in my next video. It's going to be tonight, so I have no outer plane for a little bit, maybe tomorrow, but not tonight. So it'll be MTG Arena, and then what was the other one? Oh yeah, Battles 2, because I've been having fun on those games, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, thank you all for watching as always, and I'll see everybody in the next video.